Being the first entry in the series, breaking the bank's premise couldn't be simpler. Henry's low on cash, so he's decided to try to break into a bank. Keyword, try. And it's up to you to decide how he goes about doing that. I know I just went over how these games usually have branching pathways with tons of choice screens and multiple endings, but this one has none of that. We have a grand total of 6 choices all on one screen. Breaking the bank isn't that much of a game. The future installments have stuff like QuickTime events and actual choices you can make that lead to different endings. This one is pretty much just a flash cartoon with a scene select. Not that that's a bad thing at all, of course the series had to start somewhere, you know. It's actually a little endearing how simple it is. The animation and visuals are obviously much more primitive and not as good as the later entries. Henry doesn't even have hands or shoes yet, but it's really not too bad for what it is and when it was released. You can see everything that Breaking the Bank has to offer in like 3 minutes. There are 5 options that result in a fail, although without the staple fail screen it just brings up the choices again, and 1, the disguising bag, that leads to the credits. The fails aren't as interesting or funny when compared to the later games, the jokes are kinda predictable. Also, this isn't Henry Stickmin, there are barely any references. I'm pretty sure the only one is the Zelda sound when Henry pulls out the shovel. The very minimal voice acting is kinda bad here, but you just can't help but love it. Every single male character in the entire series is voiced by Puffballs himself, just doing different accents or pitched up in different ways, and you know what? It actually works. Like, all the important characters each sound distinct, but you can still kinda tell it's just him, and I think that's a really funny and unique thing about this series. The voices have gotten way better over the years, but even the early games still have their charm. The correct choice here sees Henry hiding inside a money bag, which at first seems to work, leading to him being thrown into the bank vault. But as soon as Henry stands up, he triggers the alarm. This leads to a fairly somber credit sequence showcasing the aftermath of all the fails, and then Henry getting arrested, leading directly into the next game. There's a reason the collection considers Breaking the Bank a prologue rather than an actual episode in the Henry Stickmin story. If Crossing the Pit was a proof of concept for the Henry series, then Breaking the Bank is a proof of concept. It was a fun little flash movie for its time, but people clearly wanted to see the concept improved and expanded upon. As one Newgrounds commenter's friend's cousin may or may not have said, well, better luck getting out of prison then.